Hello, guys. Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Podcast. My name is Andre, and this podcast will be more of a conversation. Don't have any guests here with me, but a conversation of where I am with the business. I've heard a lot of seen Facebook posts of people struggling with their business, with their detailing business, um, and they think it is all normal to struggle. And if you think that, if for these people who think that, you're correct, you're right. It is normal to struggle. Now, you don't want to normalize that. You don't want to think, oh, since it is normal to struggle, then it's okay, maybe I'm doing the right thing, and then you continue taking the wrong actions that makes you struggle. So that's why I don't like to put in people's mind to tell them that it is, normal. I would rather say positive things, what you can achieve. So just to prevent from normalizing the struggle. Because once you do that, have you ever seen a video of, let's say, a successful person where they say something that, oh, it's normal to not work super hard. Oh, it's normal if you don't wake up too early. Oh, it's normal if you don't read a lot of books. It's okay. See, I'm still successful, so it's okay. Have you ever seen those types of videos? And then you feel like, oh, woof. I'm so glad to hear that, because now I can, continue to not read books, continue to not wake up early. So there is I don't agree. I don't agree at all with people normalizing. I don't want to use the word average, but, and of course everybody struggle. Of course, it's struggle in business. Since this is just a conversation, I want to say I'm at a stage of my business, as in this detailing business, where I am managing people from my office, managing the team, even the franchisees in other locations. And I've also had franchisees themselves who've gotten to this point as well. This is the goal for whoever starts, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who's listening, detailers out there, have started the business with a goal to grow a fleet of vehicles, mobile team, employees, to work outside. And so you are actually managing them. Obviously, you have to be out there sometimes, especially in the first few years. But in another point is, I want to tell my story as well. I definitely want to tell my story here. And at this point, I am not, I do oversee, sometimes I'll go out there to oversee the operations. I do have a team who does that for me. I have a team who does take the phone calls as well, and help even franchisees and or licensees. So for Wings Mobile Detailing, based in Richmond, Virginia, we have different locations at this point, operating in Greensboro, North Carolina, Fairfax, Richmond, Virginia, here obviously Virginia Beach, soon to be Columbus, Ohio. And all these places that we operate, obviously I started personally detailing a car off of my brother's car. Actually, he lent his, it was a beat up Mitsubishi that he used to have. And I started from there. I purchased those small vacuum cleaners from Walmart, and super weak vacuums. But that's how you start. That's how I started. And for even, I can even tell a story of a franchisee of mine that I had, and he moved locations, but he started and grew way faster than I grew my business myself. I am about 6 years in business, and right now I have multiple vans, multiple locations. But when this guy, one of our first franchisees, actually, when he franchised with us, he grew way faster than that, to the point where he had 2 vans going out, 3 or 4 employees, and he's starting to make the transition to work from his home office. And that was about 2 years in business, so that's really good. Obviously, when you learn and avoid my mistakes, it can be a lot quicker. Matter of fact, guys, I'm gonna organize this podcast a lot better. I know I've been all over the place, but what I also wanted to say, like in Richmond here, we have licensees in Richmond and among us other cities as well, as I said. And matter of fact, we do still have availability, very very limited availability here in the Richmond market to open Wings Mobile Detailing if anybody wants to become a licensee as well. The awesome thing about it is that because you right then and there off the bat, once you're licensed with us, you get access to the Detailing Academy. Not only that, but help with the operations of your business to grow. Once you reach the point of having, or if you already have employees, you have to train them and everything. We have separated training videos to help train employees, because that's a huge problem for a business owner. That takes a lot of time and money. So all of that, we have everything ready. Wings has everything ready. That's how we grew our business, and all of that you get it included in the licensee program. You can operate under the Wings trade name. You don't have to do anything with your business. If you're already on a detailing business, you don't have to touch it. You don't have to change the name. You're still operating under your company. Like that's how you do with any franchise. But the benefit about it is also you get clients from us, and helps grow much faster, even faster than one of our first franchisees actually. And you can check it out at franchise.wingsmobiledetailing.com. Especially if you're in Richmond listening to this podcast, but we still have availability here. Obviously in other places as well, Texas, Florida, the Carolinas, definitely big cities that is worth taking a look at it. A little bit to the north as well. If you're there and you're looking to start your own business, detailing business, definitely worth hitting us up if you really want to look for success or be self-employed. It works for both. And that's how I started, guys, with Wings. And what I do want to say is, for these days that you guys are feeling like one, you may be struggling in your business, marketing and everything, acquiring clients, getting money. Obviously, no business is just everything goes smooth. Business is a roller coaster ride. But don't take that, when I say that, don't take that and think that, don't normalize the struggle in your business. When you're going through a roller coaster, you can watch videos of people saying, and you can watch my podcast, listen to my podcast, and hear me saying that it is normal, it's a roller coaster, and then do nothing about it. If you do nothing about it, your roller coaster is not going to get back up there. So don't normalize that. Don't think, oh, it's okay, Andre said it's normal, then it's normal, I can just chill now. No, you can't. Business is a thrilling ride. It's exciting when you're in the top. It's not very good when you're at the bottom, but when you're in the bottom, when you're working hard, it actually feels good. And I had gone through a multitude of struggles actually throughout the year. So I started off in my using my brother's vehicle. I started detailing not because I actually am fanatic and love cars or love detailing itself, even though it's fun, but that's not the reason I started. And I don't, I really don't care to say that, oh, I'm not a car fanatic and I own a detailing business and I'm here detailing your car. I really don't care. I'm doing a quality job. That's what matters. At the end of the day, that is what matters. And you're running a business. You're being wise while you're running your business. That's what matters. And I started it because I love the type of business this is, especially mobile detailing. And why do I say especially mobile detailing? Because as time goes, I always think in the future. And if you're a true bred an entrepreneur, you're the same way. You always think, what can I do better? What will people want in the future? And people always want convenience, and it's not just in the future. It's now. People the more time goes by, the more people want convenience. Mobile. They want people to come to their house to detail their car. They don't want an inconvenience to go somewhere and take it to some people like that, but majority of people, they are after convenience. Now, that's not the main reason I started detailing. I wanted to start a business regardless. I grew up, was born in Brazil, and there, as I was young there, I used to sell ice cream cones, frames in the streets of Brazil. School would bore the heck out of me. It's not that I didn't like school. I actually liked it, but I prefer doing entrepreneurial things. I prefer being out selling stuff. So that's what I did ever since a young age. I sold ice cream cones and everything you can think of, even those little cakes, truff cakes. I sold it in Brazil. I painted art frames, canvas, and I would go and sell. And there's different ways to sell. I almost got abducted there, but that's a different story. And that's how I grew. And then I moved here with family to the United States. Fortunately, and obviously this is the land of opportunity. And I started, did school here, high school, a little bit of college, dropped out, and after that, I wanted to start a business. I did everything, worked after and during I did community college. I wanted to start a business. I was thinking I want to do something. College bores the heck out of me. I want to be successful. Like, I know I'm not content with just an average job. I was worried because I wasn't being very great at college schools and getting good grades, but I still had in my mind that regardless, I want to do something great and I want to be successful. I still do want to be successful. I don't consider. So I was thinking of a business to start, and I thought of a business that I can. This is what crossed my mind, guys. This is the type of business I wanted to start, and I was like, man, auto detailing, why not? Perfect. The type of business I wanted to start was a business where it can, after it grows to a certain point, we all got to get our hands dirty first, I understand, but after it grew to a certain point, I wanted to manage a fleet of vehicles, fleet of employees, where vehicles go and come in and out from an office. That was my vision, from a big office and have a fleet of vehicles, mobile team. And why mobile? Also because I never liked very much retail, one store type of business, not only because I see that dying away, but because I also wanna, I don't know, I just wanted that manage. And then right then and there I was like, I want to do auto detailing. No, that's not how it happened. I just want to start something like that. And I was watching a video, I believe, no video on detailing, has nothing to do with car wash. It's just a successful video. While I was watching the video, like, maybe I can do mobile detailing. I didn't know it even existed, right? But I thought about it. Maybe I can, wash. I didn't think of mobile detailing. I didn't even know the term. But I thought of washing cars at people's home, at their house. So, and the video had not. The video I was watching was like a successful type of vehicle, a video, but it has nothing to do with cars or detailing. It just crossed my mind. I don't know. It just popped up in my mind out of the blue. So that's how I was like, okay, I can start doing that. So from there, I took action, right? I was like, man, I can do that. And then I start doing flyers. That was a few days after I had that thought, that I started. Only a few days. It didn't take me years. So, guys, procrastination, it's stupid, right? Don't procrastinate. If you're looking to start your business, thought of an idea, thought of something, it's like, oh, maybe it works, do it. Take time out of the equation, because the more you allow time in, the worse it. White space in the calendar. I like to use this term that Grant Cardone uses. Is the devil. So you don't want to have white space on your calendar. So I started to do flyers, business cards, right? But before that, I wanted to acquire clients first. I was starting to design when can I make flyers. I went to some the Office Max. I didn't even know of a website where you could create flyers. I did not know anything, guys. Right now, if I look back and to the things I didn't know, and nobody knows when you're starting off. There's a lot of things that it was like if that you think, if I knew that back then, man, I've grown much quicker. That's why I know that our franchisees, they grow way faster, because I put myself in their shoes when they're starting off. Simple things I didn't know. I didn't know how to acquire business cards. Where do I go? And I waste a lot of times even designing a freaking card, or where to make it at a good price. Didn't know Vistaprint, for example, to do that. So, but first I was like, I need clients, right? I don't know how to do detailing. Guys, think of this. I did not know how to detail cars. I mean, I detailed back in Brazil, but just use not detail. I wash cars in Brazil, just soap, and that's all I knew how to do. Wash the outside of a car and dry. I barely know that if you leave water in the car, it's gonna create water spots. I did not know that. So I started to learn from YouTube videos, and I, as an entrepreneur, we want to get clients quick. We're not like engineers where before we take action, we want to perfect our skills first. No, as an entrepreneur, we want to take action quick, and then we perfect the skills. Then we, get better at it. So, then, I find clients, went door to door knocking. Asked some family members if they want to get their car clean. I knew some friends of my parents, they had friends, and I asked them, hey, if I come to your house and charge $30, $25 or $30, would you let me wash your car? And I thought I was asking too much. I really thought I was asking too much. Of course, think of it as years ago. It wasn't nowadays. But still, that was very little money, but I thought it was a lot. Hey, $30 to wash a car, I think that's a lot. And she said it was a friend of my mom. Said, no, that's only that. I would pay you at least $100 to come to my house and wash my car here. I would pay at least $100, charge more. I was like, what? Nah. And then I started charging like $70, right? It was still good for a beginner who did not know how to do anything besides vacuum a car and wash the outside. Not even shampoo or nothing. So I got that. She tipped me really well. I was like, wow. First, second month, third month, I had 3 clients that way, door to door. And I make flyers in the 4th month. I was already working on the website. Guys, it took me forever. It seems like it took me forever at the beginning. Now looking back, to me, it seems like it took me forever. But from the beginning, I was already looking into getting to the website, creating. I was already looking to sites of how to create everything, because I wanted to grow a business from the very beginning. I didn't want to play around. So I created a website. In 3, 4, 5 months, I only had 3 or 4 clients on those 4 months combined. It was very slow, and then that's how it started picking up. Having new ideas, created a website, created business cards, flyers. To do each one of that, it took me a long time. Looking back, I was like, man, I spent a lot of time just, looking at which vacuum do I buy. That time spent is money. So I get the vacuum cleaners from Walmart. And I'm doing cards. I have business cards. I have flyers. Some flyers that look. It doesn't look ugly, but it's super simple. There's no business. I started to create my business logo using, I think, the Word document. Yeah, it was that bad, guys. My website, I still have the design of my first website. It was bad. It was bad. But I'm not shameful of that. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't. I would be ashamed if at the beginning I spent hundreds of dollars to create the best website, hundreds of dollars to create the best business cards, because I know there are a lot of businesses out there who start off spending so much money on shit they don't know, and that is not good. And you have to watch out for those types of entrepreneurs, because they usually die out because they're so worried about the image and not about the quality of service and learning how to do that service, which is important. I learned, guys. I spent a lot of times, I wanted to make every client happy. Every client needs to have the best service ever, even though I didn't know how to shampoo a car. But I started shampooing, offering the shampoo services later on, which is another thing that cost me money. Until I learned, it took me a while, because I didn't know the vehicle I could use to learn. But it still provided the best service. And learning from YouTube, pick a bunch of YouTube channels here and there, and that's how it went. Started first year, second year, and third year, I believe, is when I bought my second van. Third or fourth year, and then the third van that same year I purchased, about as I was growing my business, learned how to go after employees, learned how to interview employees, learned how to pay employees, the accounting side of it. It is so much, as you guys already know. So I was learning and doing it at the same time. And those 2-3 years that I started, I think it was actually only the second year that it's starting to make a difference. Because when you're in your first year or second year in business, if you're starting off like I started, your first and second year in business, you are still like not as confident, right? You're not as confident that that's going to work. I had the vision, I had the gut, I knew, I was trusting that the action that I was taking, working hard, it consequently would work out. But I was not as confident. You're really, really confident when you start to, really get a revenue from it, seeing the growth, hiring employees, and actually be like, okay, this is a thing. I can leave college now because I know that this will work, right? So that was my second or third, I believe, third year in business. Because my first year, I don't even count. Actually, it was very slow. So second and third year of business, the third primarily, is when I started to hire those employees. Well, I started with one, obviously. I had big problem with this. Now, it's way different when you want to do a business and be self-employed, which is okay. I have total respect. A lot of people love detailing cars and they just want to be self-employed, detail the cars themselves without having employees and a helper, let's say. Other people have a more corporate vision in a business, like I do. I want to hire employees and delegate all my tasks, even detailing cars like I've done. And that's okay. Both ways is just different. One is not better than the other. Obviously, for you to grow and expand, you have to take the other way, right, of employees. But you can still obviously This is a very profitable business regardless if you have employees or not. If you're self-employed, very profitable industry this is. So right then and there, so what I was explaining is the big problem I was having with it, that I had one point was, obviously when I started a business, the roller coaster's up and down. The emotional roller coaster, which is a bigger roller coaster, right, is always up and down. Now the time that I had the huge downhill roller coaster is when it affected my vision. When my initial vision was to grow, it's always to grow a company and grow big enough. My first actual target, one of my first targets, which I knew it would take, years, but it was faster than I actually anticipated. But my first initial target was to work from home office, grow a team to where it can be profitable and have a certain amount of vans where I can be profitable and manage them from my home office and not having to go out there. I knew I still have to go out there, but make that transition, right? And that's what I was fighting for. That's what I was working for, my initial target. And when I had 2 vans, I believe I had 2 vans or 3, 2 or 3 vans, and I was on the third van, right, driving and detailing and training employees. And it took me a long time to train those people. Like, it took me 6 months, guys, because before I didn't have training videos. I did not have any of the resources that I do have now that I can train people faster, more effectively, right? I did not have that. So it would take me 6 months to train one guy, and I was doing well, thinking I was doing well. Training one guy, putting him in the van, training the other guy, putting him in the other van, and then training the other guy. And then one guy would leave, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna need 2 guys per van here so that I can actually leave and be safe. Because if one leaves, I'm good, right? Thinking I was good, because if one leaves, nobody's gonna leave all at once, right? So that happened. Everybody left at once. That was 2 weeks before I was thinking that I was like, okay, now I can, next 2 weeks from now, I will be able to work from home office because I have all my team here. I'm training the last guy right now with my van, and bam, I'm good. 2 weeks from now, not I'm good. I know I had a lot of, I wasn't naive. But what I meant is, okay, 2 weeks from now, I'll be able to work from my home office because I grew my team, right? I was excited because after years of working to achieve that small target, it took me a while, 6 months to train each one person. Everybody left, and I was left with 1 employee only. And now imagine, that was a very sad day. Not only was it a sad day, also because I knew I would have to work it all over again to acquire all those employees to make the transition. But it was a sad day because I questioned myself, how is it possible? I knew it was possible because I would follow a lot of successful people. I would have podcasts playing in my ear day after day. So I knew business owners who had, hundreds of employees, that if they gotten there, it's possible. I knew it was possible. But I was just like, how? How is it possible for me to train, spend 6 months, 6 months training somebody to be good enough to where I can trust them? If it takes me 6 months to train a guy, when am I ever gonna be like, okay, now I can leave? Because I spent 6 months training, and then one leaves, and then I have to spend another 6 months training the other person. That's not it, the math doesn't add up. It wouldn't work for me to have that amount of guys and be able to work out, unless everything works out perfectly. So that's when I started learning a bunch of stuff. By learning a bunch of stuff is I started over. Obviously, to me, that was a start over, but I thought, okay, I need a better way to deal with this, right? Better way to train them faster. I needed to train my employees faster. I needed to make some changes in the company of small agreement contracts, motivate them to stay in the company because it's all important. And overall, be a better leader as well, because I always blame myself. If you're a business owner who's arrogant, before you start your business, practice being humble, because if you're an arrogant, you're gonna go through a lot of troubles. And I wasn't arrogant, but I as a leader, I was like, okay, I need to be better leader, better, not motivational, not go there and be like, yeah, let's go, not that, guys, but have systems implemented in place, create a good work environment, and just listen to the guys and create training videos, better training videos, ways to that they learn faster, ways to interview people faster, how to find these people, because 6 months was not only to train, that took me a while, but to find employees. So all of that, I started to really dig deep into it. And this point where I bettered myself, I was humble to better myself. This is where 95% of business people failed, because 95% of people who gone through that point, they really are stagnated with all the work that they've gone behind. They don't believe that it's doable. They don't look on themselves to blame. They don't blame themselves, and then they just give up. Or sometimes they don't have the strength to continue, because it is hard. And I don't have any lack of respect for these people. A lot of people, they really don't want to continue. They're not made for that, I guess. But I continue. I was humble to see that it was my fault and I had to improve something in me, and which I did. That's the only way I was able to build a team. And from there, start growing. The roller coaster ride continued, but as always, expanding wings, acquiring another van, and in other places as well, and growing franchise, helping other business grow their business, which is what we do now a lot, which is with the franchise. So franchise is pretty much, us helping other businesses grow. And growing in different cities as well. We started off in the second city in Virginia Beach. That's where it was our second location, and there is where the guy down there grew faster than I did, way faster. Me giving all the steps, which they are simple. At the end of the day, they look very simple, but at the beginning, when you don't have anything in hands, everything is a lot more complicated. And when you have everything, the puzzle together is like, okay, I'll follow these steps. They're simple. So that's how it is. That's how businesses are simple, but you don't start off knowing everything. And that was one of the biggest part and struggle, as where I got stuck a little bit, but I didn't give up. I did not give up, and I was humble. Now there is a long way still ahead, right? Only God knows, but I'm still starting. I still always feel like I'm starting out. I'm grateful, obviously, for everything where we have grown. And the nicest thing, I used to hear a lot of these successful business people online, and I'm sure you guys follow, say that you have to focus on helping people when you get fulfillment from helping others to grow. And I always listen to that, and a lot of people who listen to that, they fake that they want to help people. They say, oh, I'm gonna help other people, but they are really thinking about themselves, right? Me personally, I would hear a lot of these successful business owners, who are already wealthy, say that they wanted to, they get fulfilled from helping other people. That's their goal. And I'm listening to that. I was like, man, I don't personally feel that. Right now I don't feel that. Right now I want to help myself. I want to grow. I'm thinking about myself now, selfishly. And I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and just pretend that, I wanna. Before I say this before, I didn't want to sit there before and just pretend because everybody was saying that, and that's what it takes to be successful. But saying that doesn't matter, guys. If you're not actually thinking that, don't be fake either. Now, I say that before, and why do I say that before? Because later, when I've, helped, we as Wings as a team helped grow the location in Virginia Beach, and then other licensees in Fairfax and other places, and get more licensees, and they were growing. That's when I understood. I was like, man, it feels awesome to do something and help. Now I realize how it feels great to help other people when it's actually working and they're happy about it. We have people in your team that is grateful, and they're then I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I feel good by literally for their success. And that is sometimes that is even more fulfilling than you doing something that works in your life. When you helped somebody do something that they are happy and worked in their life, sometimes it's more fulfilling. Other times I'd rather obviously be selfish. I'm not bullshitting here, guys, and I know a lot of people can listen to this and be like, oh, you're a selfish prick, but make sure you're not thinking that yourself and you're just afraid of saying it. But there's a point where you realize that it is awesome. But if you're not at that point, don't blame yourself. If you're not at that point, nobody's at that point. A lot of people can fake it that they're at that point where they want to help others, but you don't start off at that point. Be honest. Now, I guess that's what I wanted to cover, guys. Businesses, it's inevitable that you're going to go through hard times. It's inevitable that's going to happen. You can start a business by learning every single little step from the most successful business owner in the world, and you're still gonna go through struggles, through falls. Obviously, you want to learn to grow faster, and be aware of the falls and not give up. But there's still gonna be points where it's gonna be a roller coaster. Now, the difference is between how fast you can grow and not giving up. Being humble to understand that everything is your fault. Everything. If you have employees and your employees don't show up on time, why is that? Why is he not showing up on time? What's wrong with you that your employee is not showing up on time? Why is your employee not super excited to wake up early to work with you there? You see how everything is your fault. Obviously you gotta be harsh sometimes, work hard so that doesn't happen again. But I hope you guys are open-minded. You know what I'm saying. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this podcast. Again, if you'd like to check out this franchise thing, it's franchise.wingsmobiledetailing.com. Especially now, it's strong in Richmond, Virginia area, and even Virginia Beach as well, Florida, and the Carolinas, as well as most of the Virginia state. If you enjoy this podcast, if you're listening until now, 40 minutes in, I appreciate that. I definitely want to ask one more thing. Thank you for listening, but want to ask one more thing. Leave a review there. Share it with your peers. And if you wanna follow up, hit me up. Instagram, you can find me on Instagram, my personal account even, Andre Mezalira, and you see on the description of the podcast.